Hello there, everybody. Yeah, a bit hoarse already. This is one of my first proper candle affirmations meditations for YouTube. And I thought I would just kind of introduce things. There's so much to say, I couldn't possibly say this in 5 minutes. So I'm just going to kind of go with the flow on what you see in front of you here and the things that I put down in front of the candle. The candle affirmations are basically to remove negativity in the brain and replace it with a positive thought, affirmation, and actions. So, if you're like me, you smoke and you don't like it, and you're trying to change your brain from a bad habit, you want to be doing something nice, helpful, positive in the morning. Science now knows that chanting helps the brain to reorganize itself. It calms down the brain waves and reformats them. And they have done many, many scientific tests on this. So my theory was, well, if people wake up in the morning and they're fighting their own cortisol, which is a chemical that the body uses in order to activate activity. But if you get too much cortisol in the morning, it can cause negativity, it can cause anxiety, and the brain can get a bit muddled up if it has too much of it. In other words, it can catastrophize. So, these actions of doing something like this is helpful if you have the time. Some people might find it's better to do this in the evening when they have more time than in the morning. But I thought I would just kind of jump in and look at some of the ancient chants that have been available for centuries, that really first started in the Sanskrit messages to do with some of the religious practice back in Hinduism and Buddhism from India. I can hear some people going, oh no. But I wanted you to sort of maybe try and just suspend your disbelief on this and try something like this for yourself. If nothing else has worked, why wouldn't this and might this work? Now, this chant that I'm going to explain to you also goes with sounds and colours and different musical notes, because it's part of the Sanskrit system of description of chakra, right? Which is a kind of energy system that was talked about in the Bhagavad Gita and all the holy books of India. And I just feel I wanted to see if anybody else might try and do this along with me and see if there is a subliminal mood change or affirmations and things that during the day might help them. I know that people that are depressed tend to have hidden or sometimes active anger, and a spiritual practice is known to reduce those kind of thoughts and help a daily time scale in your day to go more peacefully. So this one is to try and bring in some peace into your life so that you can sort out chaotic things, do your priority list after your meditation, which I would always recommend, and get on with a happier kind of day. What is also in front of me that was just kind of like something that I saw when I was putting together this table, and it's seeds that I got from the Holy Island, from the Buddhist centre there, which is chrysanthemum. Obviously, I paid for it, I guess, years ago, And I never actually did anything with those seeds. And I thought for some reason that I might plant them out. Um, why to do that action? Well, this week I had a few kind of angry moments, and I thought that's not right. I must not be doing my calm down and have a peaceful day and create order for myself in a way that is away from, say, cigarette smoking. Blaming also other people is something that happens when you're angry. So I thought I would go into a couple of Buddhist chants because Sammy Ling is here. I would also look at the Green Tara chant while we're here. But first of all, let's look at this. This is the chakra chant. It's a seed mantra, and it's part of the system of mind liberation, which is what you have to do if you're feeling negative. So let's start with the bottom one, which is red. The musical note that goes with the bottom chakra is C, and its meaning, how it's said, is Lam in Sanskrit, which loosely translated is I am. In other words, the utterance of I am existent, I exist. And the colour normally with that would be red. Then we'll go to orange and the musical note of D. I feel, which is the kind of roughly translated from the Sanskrit of the word vam. Next one is the sacral chakra, which is yellow. It goes with the note E, and it loosely means I do, ram. It's also associated with a cheeky word, which would be to ejaculate, is to announce, move out, push out. So I do would be activity, the actions that you take in life, or not as the case may be. And sometimes the action part can be blocked by procrastination, which is usually blocked by fear. Am I going to fail? Will this not work? And so the action part of a person can get blocked and they can suffer from paralysis of activity. So part of this chant is to open up ways towards action to sort yourself out. Okay, so Ram is quite important to that. That's the sacral chakra, and it's where we have our willpower. So very important for stopping smoking, stopping overeating, stopping drinking too much, all the too much stuff that we do in life. Okay, so that probably, in a nutshell, defines what's happening here. The next one is green. That's the heart chakra. And that's a very interesting one in Sanskrit. It's stated in Sanskrit, it's the Anahata chakra. And that literal translation is unstuck, unbeaten, unhurt. I love. So it's your source of love and to be loved and to love. And it means unstuck, unbeaten, unhurt, and in a way that is unconditional. And the pronunciation of that word in Sanskrit is yam. Then we would go on from there to blue, which is the physical note G in music. And it means in Sanskrit ham, which is I speak, I utter. So that would be associated with the throat chakra in blue. Then we go up to probably the most important ones. There's indigo, which is the physical note music of A, and the meaning is sham in pronunciation, not shame, but sham. And that is going towards the I am one, which is the next chakra, which is violet in colour, with the note B and the word Aum. Now, I would have said that's an extra chakra, the indigo one there on this listing, but it goes with the actual chant. So therefore, I kept it in because the chant has indigo there, the crown chakra being indigo, which is the note A. Now, in history, the note A also has apparently special healing properties because of its particular vibration on the body, where it's able to open up all the chakras and help with healing. But there we have in violet at the top, which is the chakra above on your crown, the note B and the word Aum, as it's pronounced. So I thought I would just dive in and say that. It's quite a difficult one to say. And it goes Lam Vam Ram Yam Ham Sham Aum. Lam Vam Ram Yam Ham Sham Aum. Lam Vam Ram. You see, I find it difficult. So start again. Lam Vam Ram Yam Ham Sham Aum. And the concept of that is to just have your brain sort of consider something else for a moment. We'll also go back to the Green Tara Buddhist chant, which I know of by heart. And again, these chants are difficult to learn. And that goes Tari Tutari Tura Soa. And traditionally it's said in Buddhism for the relief of obstacles, removing of obstacles, to try and get something that's stopping you from doing something in life, to remove those obstacles. It's also for protection and protection from things physically in the world that can impinge upon us, from earthquakes, storms, to also things within us that can prevent us from achieving safe things to do. And it comes from the tradition of the female Buddha. It's a female Buddha, the Green Tara Buddha. Beautiful art has been done in honour of the Green Tara Buddha, and you would probably see it without knowing who she was. And she is actually painted green. And the reason she's important in Buddhism, so that whole temples are dedicated to her, like the Samueling temples in the southwest of Scotland, is because she's the only female, and she asked the main Buddha, Shakyamuni Buddha, if she could help to remove the suffering of mankind. She wasn't happy that man and humankind, womankind, suffered from suffering. And so she created a chant prayer and a request to the Buddha that there were ways and means that suffering of humanity could end. And she dedicated her spiritual path to that. What is interesting in the pictures about the Green Tara is she sits with one foot forward in the posture, of the meditation. And that's so that she can be ready to assist in any difficulties that people can face. So I'll say that chant again because she's come to mind. It's Tari Tutari Ture Soa, Tari Tutari Ture Soa, Tari Tutari Ture Soa. And that is very interesting because it's to be said with the spirit of removing of obstacles. And I think quite actually important for people who are suffering from maybe procrastination paralysis, which is often what happens when people are depressed. So moving on swiftly, because I'm going to end this soon. The other affirmation prayer, which I felt might be useful, is actually from the Baha'i tradition, which is another one about removing difficulties and obstacles. And it goes, Is there any remover of difficulties save God? Say praise be God. He is God, all are his servants, and all abide by his bidding. Is there any remover of difficulties save God? Say praise be God. He is God, all are his servants, and all abide by his bidding. And on that note, I just wanted to look at the essential oils I got here. Basil, black pepper, which is very good for helping to remove cravings, and also the other one, peppermint, which is very good for bronchial and breathing difficulties. And I felt I just wanted to clear the air. So there you are. That's my chant talk for today. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for listening.